حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
The five pillars, they're broken, and you have disbelief in any of that, then you're not believing Muslim.
Good evening and welcome to Evening Interview. I'm Raquel Steinberg, your host, and tonight we are doing an Islamic profile with Imam Habibullah Subhan Mahdi. Hello, Imam.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Okay, why don't we just get right down to the subject at hand. First things first, who is Allah?
Allah is the God of the believing Muslim world. Allah, to the believing Muslim world, is the creator of the heavens and earth. Allah has never been seen by any of creation. He is the absolute. Allah knows all things. He is everywhere simultaneously. But reason why we use the word Allah, because Allah is, it's like you have Ilah and Allah. Ilah mean God. Allah, which you put in the definite article, the al, which mean the God. So every time whoever say Allah, they're saying the God, the God. Whereas in English, you speak English, you just say God, when one should say the God, you know, because many things can be God. You know, a man can worship a woman can worship materialism, children can worship sports. Just an example of different things that can be worshiped. And in Hebrew is Elohim, so that's saying God too. So then it's the God in Hebrew, or should I say Ivrit, that's the proper name for Hebrew. So this God, he created the entire universe. He created heaven, and he created we see as the stars, created the solar systems, the galaxies, the Milky Ways, created all elements.
Students, now that we have studied with the understanding that we, as well as the philosophers of the past and present, do not know which came first between time and space. or space and time. Did time come first, or did space come first? But whichever, they both exist now. Would anyone like to express the differences, viewpoints, based upon the findings, difference based on religions and scientific beliefs? Habiballah?
Habiballah.
Habiballah?
Yes. Well, I would like to elaborate on both time and space.
Mm-hmm.
Based upon my little research and little findings,
Okay.
I have found that both came into existence at the same time. One cannot exist without the other. But due to the nature of time and space, they fall into three categories, which is the abstract, tangible, and intangible.
Yep, you're absolutely right. Would like you to continue your perspectives at a later date, if you would, because I myself find it very interesting and enlightening, and I'm sure the class does as well. Students, within the next few weeks, we're going to be studying the religions of Buddhism and Hinduism. So I want you to read ahead of your studies so that when we meet again, we can have intelligent conversation on these subjects. Thank you. Class dismissed.
I'm here with Imam Habiballah Subhan Mahdi. I love saying that name. It's so cool. And once again, we are doing an Islamic profile. And next question I wanted to ask you was concerning people worldwide. How is it that the believing Muslims view the non-believing Muslims?
It's simple in a way, but it can be complex. And it's simple in a way because I'm just going to deal with the Jews and the Christians. Jews, Christian, Muslim, the believing Muslim basically believe in the same things, but there are a few things, one thing that really causes us to have different beliefs. Jews believe that there's only one God. Christians believe that there's only one God. Jews and Christians, alike with Muslims, believe that's one God. They also believe that angels exist, that God has angels, carrying out certain duties. Like Jews, Christians, and Muslims, they believe that the Creator revealed books to certain men. Jews, Christians, and Muslims, they believe resurrection. They believe day of judgment, which is last days, or the last day. And the reason why I say day is because judgment is always there. And once you die, you die. Why be so concerned about something that's going to happen? It's good to be concerned, but why focus on something going to happen not in your lifetime, let's say, hypothetically, because it haven't happened. And they're like, but your judgment is over once you die. People not thinking that short-term life that they have, that short-term expanse. They got to say, well, my judgment day is when I die, because there's nothing I can do when I can't come back here and change anything. Mm-hmm. Whatever I did, so this is your judgment. So whatever you did, you got to be accountable for whatever you did. So, but then the greater day of judgment, when all shall be judged, and that's the results of whatever you did when you did exist. Mm-hmm. In this form. And then they believe, as I said, we say jihad. Christians believe, they don't use the word jihad. But I'll give you an example. Said Jesus was a man who was kind. He never said, just speaking what most Christians may say. But we also know Jesus went into the temple and he saw men gambling. And he was in rage, and he kicked the table over in the temple, and he shouted at the man with, you know, with great attitude, not to get him in the temple, because this is the temple of God, the creator of the heavens and earth. But, you know, I know a lot of people may disagree, but he said Allah. He was from the Middle East. You know, he wasn't from America. He wasn't from Europe. He was from the Middle East. So, you know, he spoke Aramaic. Jews would say he spoke Ivrit, which would say Hebrew. But these are, you know, just to give you an idea of what we believe.
Now, with all that in mind, concerning the attack on America in New York City, the World Trade Center, and the nation's Pentagon, is this the definition of jihad?
Are you saying is jihad is the definition, the situation that happened in New York City,
Right.
and Pentagon and near Washington, Pentagon, is this definition of jihad? Definitely all Muslims everywhere in the entire world, as I just explained, believe in jihad. Jihad is the struggle against evil, whether evil is internally and externally.
So, Father Habibullah, when are we going to let these pages cross over into the Kingdom
Hanif, we're going to cross them tonight.
Because we know tonight is the night. We all know it's going to be torture for them.
I believe they all will make it. You know what I'm saying? They all understand why we do what we do at this level. They all want to be strong Islamic beliefs in this order. You know, we can drop them all right now if we wanted to. But, you know what I'm saying, due to the wrong circumstances, I think they'll make it. You know? So, Father Habib, what you think about the situation?
The organization is well taken, it's well accepted. There'll be handful hours. But not your law. You seem as if we could grow with something. When you're dealing with, you know, people who want to bomb or kill, my thing is to study their profile, their personal profile, their academic background, what caused them to do such a thing, why people go either go bomb other countries. Why? You have to go back because in Islam, Allah has commanded Muslims to fight against oppression, prosecution. We are Americans. You know, we was born in America. And one thing about that situation, with me being a believing Muslim, it's never country before God, it's always God before country. A lot of people put country before God, which is a no-no in Islam. So the thing is to find out why they did this. And a lot of people a lot of believing Muslims look at America being the great Satan. You know, especially foreign Muslims, they look at America as being the great Satan. Why do they look at America as being the great Satan? I think Americans, because they have already said, well, we're going to war against Muslims. We're going to, any Muslim who believe in jihad, we're going to, they are terrorists. So I think that was a bad statement to make for anybody to make, because that's saying you're going to have to kill all Muslims because this is their belief. If you say you're going to kill Muslims because they believe in jihad, you're going to attack Muslims, we're going to, because anybody who believes in jihad, they are terrorists, then you have to kill every Muslim in the entire world, if they are true believing Muslims. Because jihad means a struggle against evil within yourself and evil in the world. So the thing is to find out, and it's dangerous because you have Muslims in the United States who came up in this country, who may be descendants of slaves, or descendants from the Indian tribe, and they even carrying a grudge because of their past history. And even not only that, the foreign Muslim may look at America has been a Satan. But you have these Muslims who say, well, I'm living proof that these people are evil. And then you have to say to yourself, and they got to focus back on Satan. Satan, he's constantly working. If he can turn me and you against one another, then it's on. This is Satan. Satan is ancient. He's not something that came up yesterday, or something that happened 100 years ago. He was back there when Adam, Eve, Cain and Abel, when Cain slew Abel, killed his own brother, and tried to figure out how to bury him. And he saw this bird scratching on the ground, and he buried his brother, and went to his father, and father asked, where your brother? And you know what I'm saying? But Cain was turned out, and then later, Adam and Eve, they parted.